October 28th, 2019 council meeting to order. Councillor Defoe will not be here. If she does make it, it'll be about 6 o'clock. So we'll start the proceedings. No delegations, we'll go on to the minutes.
So moved. You want a second?
Oh, second, sorry.
Any discussions on the minutes? All in favor? Carried.
Excuse me, we were too fast.
What?
Gareth is missing from the committee of the whole.
Who?
Gareth.
For the regular council meeting.
Committee of the whole.
Committee of the whole.
Committee of the whole.
It's just an addition.
Okay.
Page 1.
Trying to get there.
Hello, Barbara. How are you?
It's a bit windblown, but
Yeah.
And it's cold.
Of course, it's not windy down in Ashbrook,
it's very windy down
and the sun's shining.
there. The sun's shining there too.
Yeah.
It's probably 25 degrees.
Yeah, not quite. 24.
All through with the amendments?
For the whole,
Committee of the whole.
committee of the whole, okay. So we haven't done the regular council meeting ones, okay.
No, but
Continue?
we'll just do it as a friendly amendment, or do you want to
Sure.
rescind the earlier one and do a new motion as amended?
Yeah.
As amended.
Or just leave them off there if it's going to be too much trouble.
I'll just say as amended, not
Yeah.
not do the whole rescinding.
Council to consider adopting the minutes of the regular council meeting of October 15th.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just the addition in the minutes where Councillor Pittman had questioned where the additional monies for the advertising would be coming from. We were over budget by $474.24. The additional monies of $35.25.76. And the reminder that our accountants advised getting more bang for our bucks and to decrease our controllable expenses, and that we cannot legally run the municipality into a deficit position.
Excuse
That
me.
was under the Gold Country advertising section.
That was not pertinent to the motion that was being considered, so it was not included in the minutes.
Okay, well, I would like it to be included.
If council agrees that that should be an amendment, then we will do so.
And I think the other one was the council resolution to, Councillor Pittman asked to see the copy of the council resolution to contact Tesla to install a supercharger station.
I believe the discussion on, point of order on that, the discussion was that it was in closed meeting minutes for 3 or 4 different meetings. All of that information was available.
But the actual council resolution, giving direction.
I think we just did it as a motion. I'm not sure that it was a resolution.
And it's an in-camera matter.
Yes.
We can deal with it in camera.
Okay.
We
That-
should appropriately be dealing with that in camera.
That's an
Okay,
in-camera item, we'll deal with it in camera.
And the other one was the council resolution for Arcona roofing as well. To,
Again, that one was
That
regarding a
direction.
personnel matter, that is in camera.
it was on the process. My
Yes,
question
and that's why
I
it
wanted
needs to
to
be in
see.
camera.
Yes, it was.
Point of order, it
your-
needs to be in camera.
Yeah,
Okay.
Any further? All in favor? Carried. No business arising from delegations, business arising from the minutes, committee appointments. Myself to appoint council members to fill vacancies, council members in this particular situation. It will be to economic development, it'll be Councillor Coomber. Budget and administrative services will be Councillor Coomber. And intergovernmental relations, it'll be Councillor Coomber. Committee reports, economic development.
No meeting report.
Thank you. Budget administrative services, Councillor Peters again.
Just one thing I'd like to add, in our meeting this weekend, we talked about the grinder. Lucky Monster.
Yes.
Did
The-
the
I
motion
had
put
a
on the
chance to
floor?
sit down with Jordan this morning.
Mhm.
He said we've run without it in the past for several months at a time. It's not a necessary part of the process. We could easily run until next year if it did break down. He says he doesn't see it breaking down, but it does have a very limited lifespan left.
Okay, because we did discuss.
Yeah. He feels very strongly that due to the amount of money we've already spent at the sewage treatment plant this year, this could easily be put off till
Put
2020.
onto the budget
Yeah.
of 2020, okay.
The primary purpose for the grinder is to make it easier on the circulating pumps. There's less material for them to have to force through when it's all ground up. It also makes the digestive process run more efficiently faster.
Okay, we had
But it's not
discussed
critical.
bringing it up as a item tonight, so.
Yeah.
That's fine, we don't need to know. Okay, I'd like to move that we adopt the meeting schedule as presented.
Second.
When,
Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. Anything further under budget administrative services? No? Policy and bylaw review, myself and Councillor Peters, and the zoning amendment bylaw 808.
move that we give first reading to zoning amendment bylaw 808, 2019, that the application be scheduled for a public hearing.
Second. I'll second that one. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried.
So do we have, so then that would be you that would schedule the public meeting?
Yeah, it has to be posted in 2 consecutive issues of the newspaper, and we have to hold a public hearing. It's far enough away from the highway, we don't need to involve Ministry of Transportation. There's a few other steps. It will probably not make it to the next council meeting, but the one after.
Okay, thank you.
If you have questions, we can answer them after our regular meeting.
Oh,
If you'd like to.
We were just here in case you had questions, so,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, take care.
Look forward to working with you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ports Road Bridge grant application. Excuse me, sorry.
We have 2 late items to deal with for the additional items.
Oh, right, sorry.
Sorry.
To speak to the first one, I think that should be brought up when they actually have their society going, and then it can be dealt with at that time. I don't feel that we need to discuss it now, because it's
Pretty premature.
pretty premature.
Yeah,
So I
the
was
thing
just
is,
advised.
if we don't do it during this this time period,
Mhm.
they will be paying full property tax next year.
So we have to do it in this calendar year, or?
For an exemption in 2020, we have to do it before the end of this month,
Before the end of this month.
which is this week, so.
Yeah, because we
Oh,
have
it
to
is,
send
right.
the.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at this time, they
31st.
don't meet the criteria for inclusion on
Yeah.
a permissive tax exemption bylaw.
Could we approve them in principle and,
No.
no?
The reason being that it all has to be filed with BC Assessment Authority.
Hmm.
Right, and if they don't have a society
Mhm.
status, then we can't file.
That's right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Can it be done as an exception after the deadline?
That's a Christina question.
I'm not sure how far they are in the process of applying for a society certificate. And in the same time, I don't think it's fair for the rest of taxpayer to take over the burden of a business that doesn't quite qualify
At this point, okay.
for that. They may apply for other loans. There are lots of financing options there for startup businesses.
Yeah.
So I think,
Well, right now, I mean, the tax would be paid by the golf course owners,
Mhm.
yeah,
so it's not really a hardship for the group yet.
but I understand that they are in the process of starting up a business. That's where the hardship is.
But that's up to the business to do that.
Yeah.
It would be, I guess, a little bit of history in the past, when the golf course opened it up until 2 years ago, 2017. It was run by a society, a nonprofit society,
Mhm.
and they folded in July of that, or
Just after we got back.
just after we got back, July of 2017, and then the people that owned the property took over management
Mhm.
of the course. They're trying to get out of it, and I think it's a community group again that's trying to get together to form a society to take over
Mhm.
the management. So I guess until it's an entity, they don't qualify, so
Mhm. Yeah.
We can't do anything.
we can't do anything. So can we send them a letter thanking them for their correspondence and that they don't qualify?
Yeah,
Under
wishing them
the
best, wishing them the
criteria.
best so we're
Yeah,
getting things established.
once things are more solid, then,
Yeah,
And
our
then
hands
talk
really are
to-
tied by BC Assessment. that
yeah.
it's-
Yeah, and refer to that perhaps, so that there's no ill will.
Yeah.
So you need a second to do that?
I don't think we need to do that as a motion, it's just a
No,
discussion,
no, this is,
isn't it?
yeah, this is just discussion for information. If you wanted to actually do something, then we need a motion.
Yeah.
When, for next year, when could they apply for the permissive tax exemption?
I'm going to have the application form on the website probably January, February, and I said that we should probably have an earlier deadline for application submission, so we can review all the applications in much timelier fashion, so we have time to go
Yeah,
through the
you-
process.
What was it you were talking about?
I was
August?
saying August 31st if we put it, so then we have literally 2 months to go through the process and council meetings and BCS.
That would be the deadline, August
Mhm.
31st. So if we could point that out, that once they gain society status,
Yeah.
that would be the deadline. Okay, thank you. Cannabis bylaw development.
I'd like to approve the hiring of Meraki Planning to develop a request for proposals for consultants to provide amendments for all relevant Village of Cache Creek bylaws to allow for the regulation of the production and distribution of cannabis, and that they be advised that their maximum budget is $25,000.
I'll second that you
That was the-
approve them. I'll second that you approve them.
Oh,
Now, are you talking maximum for doing the work is 25,000 for the actual select successful proponent? They're just putting
No.
together the request.
oh, okay, so that,
I'm only asking them to put together the
the
request.
request, oh, okay, sorry.
So I would say the
misunderstood.
more, if you wanted to put a dollar value in there, I would say the more appropriate number would be $2,000.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that this was the actual
No, but when they do put the proposal out there,
Yeah,
then that amount would be in there, yes.
okay. So, are you seeing my motion, because I want, well, I
No,
guess we could go into
you're
discussion.
you're still working on the motion,
Okay.
don't worry about it, we can,
Okay,
it hasn't been seconded
Okay.
yet, so.
yeah, she did,
Oh, you did? I missed that.
okay,
We're just developing an RFP.
yeah,
Yes.
Right. So,
so, yeah, okay.
Did you want to put a maximum in there? I think 2,000 is probably more than enough, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a.
And then would that come off the 25,000?
Yeah, yes, well, yes.
Okay, to a maximum of $2,000.
And it will ask them to keep the pencil real sharp so that we can, have a little bit more money for the actual job to be done.
do you have a second for that?
Yeah, Wendy.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
You're just so quiet over there.
Don't encourage her. Nothing.
Okay, Public Works and Community Facilities, Counselor Defoe and myself. Ports Road Bridge grant application. The recommendation is to support the proposed activities outlined in the application. And apply for grant management.
Second. I'll second.
Thank you, Wendy. Any discussion? All in favor? Or did you have discussion? Go ahead, Councilor Cooper,
I just wanted to point out that on page 15, there's a slight mistake. They
Page 50?
referred to the flooding in 2014 and it was 2015, so
Yeah.
we can make sure that that's
Number
changed.
6.
When I got that application from True, Dave Underwood specified this was a rough draft. He just wanted to get it in front of the council to show the overall direction that the application was going. He'll clean up the final version, so if there's any other corrections, if you could point them
That
out
was
to
the
me.
one I saw, that was,
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Not
that sounds good.
2014.
I will,
so that's on page 50.
okay. I will point that out to Mr. Underwood.
May 27th. 25,000. That full week.
Been to movie day.
Mm-hmm.
Did you call the vote on that yet?
It was carried. Well. in
Sort of
an
out of
off-
order,
in an
but it
off-
did get
yeah,
carried, yes.
It was carried, yes. We'll just serve anything further under Public Works and Community Facilities. Villages Services Liaison, Counselor Cooper, Counselor Defoe.
I'd move a recommendation. I move a recommendation that council approve a donation to the Christmas Hamper Fund of $100.
Second.
Further discussion? Any discussion? Wendy?
Christina, CFO Martini, do we have, money in the budget for that?
I'm not sure right now, I have to check.
Because we've been dealing with requests for funding by just offering them for use of the, one for use of the hall. And normally they do also come and set up, I think it's the Christmas hamper. For applications, they use the hall once or twice.
Okay, I'm not familiar with what they did in the past, so. Would you prefer that resolution then to be, to allow free use of the hall for the Christmas hamper activities?
Applications. does anyone else think?
In lieu of the $100, is that what
I know they use the Ashcroft Hall for the actual
Yeah.
numbers.
I would be inclined to think that they're looking for
For cash
that money.
donation.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we want, I mean, any group can have one free use, so we could add free use to the $100. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. That, by the way, doesn't need council approval. It already goes by the new policy.
Any further? All in favor? Carried.
And further, I would make a motion that council approves placing a food donation box in the village office.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor? Carried.
Just for this comment, if anybody wants to help, they're always looking for people when they're doing their loading and delivering and all of those kinds of things. I did it for the first time last year, and it's pretty well organized
Mm-hmm.
endeavor.
Lots of valuable service. Protective services, myself and Councillor Coomer.
I have one late item, sorry.
Too late, sorry. We're moving on, Martin. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
It was a late email from True. We have a log jam just about half a kilometer upstream from the bridge to the top of the bridge. They fully anticipated being able to get an extension and remove that log jam this fall. They were denied the extension. We don't exactly know why. It was took everybody by surprise. So we will have to reapply to finish removing that log jam before the freshet starts. At that time, we will also be asking for removal of another jam on Cache Creek.
Thank you.
And we will be asking for permission to do some bank repair adjacent, on Cache Creek adjacent to the fire hall.
Very good.
Will True be taking care of those applications?
Yes.
Anything further? Councillor Coomer, do you have any protective services?
Oh, no.
Intergovernmental relations, myself. Just a few small items. Sent the, it's not really intergovernmental relations, but relations anyway. A letter of thank you to the Wander Inn, it's not the Wander Inn anymore. I'm not sure what we call that, that facility, but the Wander Inn, the old Wander Inn site, that they did a fairly decent job of cleaning up the unsightly exterior of the property, and we'll send a letter off to them acknowledging that we were thankful that they did that. So
Are you saying that who sent out the?
I did.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yeah, I bypassed you, overrode you, Martin.
You can write.
I dictated.
Did you do, I was gonna say, did you do it on your computer?
All right,
Sorry.
that's okay. No, by all means. It was a finely tuned letter.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of words and a thank you. So but it was to the point. TNRD has 5 films or made-for-TV productions in the area. They're filmed between now and sometime in January, February, late February. That's for info.
Cool.
Russ Black made an interesting, brief presentation at their last TNRD board meeting, and he was hopeful that we would start receiving municipal solid waste sometime in December, and actively ramping up in either January, February of 2020.
I think we should all just go up and cheer the first load that goes in.
Yeah.
It's been a long haul, holy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's it for me, other than the Eco Depot is moving along as it should. The potential Eco Depot on the site south of Cache Creek. So plans are in place to do their tendering, etc., and the actual construction in the spring of 2020, with a 2 to 5 month time frame for construction. That's it for me. Anything further? Staff reports. Mr. Dawson.
As we discussed over the weekend, I will be adding the downtown visioning list to this. You'll see the seniors housing needs one is there. We discussed also adding the earlier study, just the
The age-friendly.
age-friendly communities. I'll add that one as well. It's going to make the report a little bit bulky, but it will at least keep those items in front of us.
And then, as they're completed, will you be removing them, or?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. That will help.
Yes.
Move to accept as presented?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Carried. Information correspondence,
No?
new business.
Councillor Coon.
Yes. Councilor Pillar.
Thank you. I placed NDIT Love Northern BC documents on your desk today. I was hoping to have these into the office in time to get on the agenda, but I was late, so I'd like you to have a look at them, and hopefully by our next council meeting, we will be in a position to discuss. If you want to see examples, Ashcroft has their own program, very nice, and basically it doesn't cost us anything to run it except the time it takes. The businesses pay $100 one-time fee, and NDIT provides a photographer and somebody to do a write-up on their business and post it on the website. And then we link to the website. So if people are looking for Cache Creek businesses, they will find these folks. I think that, backing up, for one thing, it's been on our strategic plan for about the last 4 or 5 years. For the second, we have no Chamber of Commerce here, so it provides a much needed profile for our businesses, where there is really none right now except for the generic TripAdvisor and other internet based businesses that really have no stake in our local businesses other than to charge them rental fees. So it would take a champion, and if nobody else has a taste for that, I would volunteer for that, just to go around to the different businesses and present the program to them and to invoice them. The money goes, the $100 actually goes to the village to help raise the awareness of the program. And there is some reporting, I believe at the end of the year, but I contacted the village office in Ashcroft, and they told me that it would be perhaps 3 to 4 hours Not sure if that was monthly or annually. So, have a look at this. This is the agreement that we would be signing. And I guess we'll talk about it at the next meeting.
Did I hear you correctly that Ashcroft was doing it?
Yes.
Then we don't wanna do it.
I think it would be good for the businesses.
Anything they can do, we can do better. We can do anything better than them.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Anything further under new business? Questions from the public? Questions from the press?
First of all, please don't start your own singing group.
Thank you.
Don't put
Through
you-
the chair, just clarification on the log jam, a half a mile, or half a kilometer, I'm sorry, above the bridge. Would that be the bridge at the far end of town?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And one second point, again through the chair, CEO Delsan mentioned adding the downtown visioning needs study, the seniors housing study, and the age-friendly study, that they are to be added to what?
My status report.
Okay. Thank you.
Or to the accumulation of other reports we have in our vault.
Okay.
Now.
That's why we're putting them on the status report, to avoid that.
Yes.
It was
I
a
was
joke.
cleaning up some stuff and found my economic development committee stuff from 2000 and something.
And that was all, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Derek put something, Santo?
Sorry?
Derek put something?
Oh, sorry.
How was your guys' Saturday meeting?
Well, it was in camera, so there's not a lot we can say.
No, I just more like a general.
Good, it was an awesome meeting.
Yeah, it was productive. We
Yeah,
covered a lot of ground.
As much as you would be able to say, is there a meeting for the public date set?
No,
Date has not been set, because we haven't finished discussion.
that's what we're working towards.
That's,
It's a good question though.
that's it.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion to move into a closed session?
Motion to move to closed.
Second.
All in favor? Carried.